Okay. All right. Do I have it right this time? I hope I do. I don't know. But we're going to see. Trial and error, right? Oh, all right. I think, I think I got it. Uh, if you have been hanging in there with me, thank you so much for your patience. So let's see. Let me refresh my screen. There we go. Let me go here on the computer. All right, that seems much better. I think. Um, Hopefully we'll be all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first live ever in the whole 12-year history of my YouTube channel. Um, my name is Aniqua, and I am the artist, the designer behind My Kind of Thing, a handmade company that specializes in one-of-a-kind handmade dolls, particularly dolls of color, and even more specifically black and brown girls. I am trying to clear our palette with this fun little crochet along. These are the pieces that we'll be working on today. But I want to show you all what they look like finished. So if you participated in the crochet along, then you are aware of the spring bugs that we have created this month. And it is just a little something that kind of clears. Oh, thank you so much, Ola Joe. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for your help because I would not have figured that out. I promise you, I am just like, I'm horrible at technology, and my people, they know, but yeah, it takes a little bit of, just a little bit of patience uh, because I'm not that familiar with, I'm not familiar with YouTube. I'm so accustomed to Facebook. So these are the bugs. We have the Maybug, which is a ladybug, really cute, right? And then we have the June bug, really, really cute. And then we have the bee, Bugga Bee. That's what I've been calling her. You see she has these wings, this cute little stinger. Her eyes aren't actually fixed in place yet. I just have them as a placeholder because I couldn't decide on whether or not I wanted to, you know, make it a permanent. I'm not sure if this is the face I want. But I'm going to give people a few moments. I actually need to send a message to the folks in the My Kind of String group. Hey, Zay. Yeah, this was this was so what's the word? This was a little bit difficult because I've never gone live on YouTube. So it's going to take a little bit of patience, but the cool thing is, for those of you who are familiar with the My Kind of Thing University, crochet alongs and things like that, y'all know that we can be here for a long time, but today we're not going to be here for a long time because these designs are not full dolls like we're accustomed to. I don't know why I can't see the live chat and the chat box here on my computer. Let me refresh, see if something changes. I don't know. And it's hard for me to look at where I'm recording from. Let me see. Okay, all messages are visible. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Oh, okay, there we go. But they're all the way up there. I can't see them. Okay. I appreciate y'all having patience with me. Hey, Patricia. Okay, so I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard for me to see the chat but I'm going to see if, because the way I have it on my computer, let me see if maybe if I do it like this, will it come up? I don't know. I don't understand why I can't just see the chat. Okay, so you know what? Let me just. Okay, so I see some. I don't see all. Let me see if maybe I can pull it up on my. Let's see if I could pull it up on my phone, maybe? I don't know. But I promise y'all, like, this is my first time going live ever on YouTube, so it's gonna be a little janky, a little subpar. I probably should have done a test run, but I don't know if y'all know it, but I've been working on a bunch of dolls all at once, and yeah, I don't know why I can't see the live chat. So, because you know, part of the point of going live is to be able to correspond with you in real time. And so, trying to get the chat visible on my laptop is proving to be challenging. And I don't know why. But let's see if I can pull it up on the phone, because if I can pull it up on the phone, then we're good. I don't know why on the computer it's not letting me see. So let's see. Oh, and you know what? I just realized I need to turn it down. See, the phone thing, my phone is so janky. Okay, there we go. Got it on the phone. Okay. So that's how we gonna do it. I'm gonna set it to the side right here so that I can see. That is hilarious, but we gonna work it out. Okay, so if you are new here, my name is Aniqua, and I am the artist, the designer behind My Kind of Thing. I might have said this in the beginning, but I'll say it again. I wanted to make sure that everybody in the group knows that we're live over here. And I'm trying to see, is there a way to, yes, there is. Let me copy that link, and then let me go on my computer to Facebook and share it there. Can I share it there? We gonna see. But okay, how far along are you all with your spring bugs? The crocheting sailor, thank you so much for your help. I was like, why can't I see the chat? That is a cool safety measure that they take to make sure creeps ain't talking to children. So I get it. I just figured because what I'm doing is kind of like, it's very, very PG. So I just assumed that I should make it child friendly, but that's cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link in the group, the My Kind of String Yarn group, just to make sure that everybody knows where to go. Let's see. We are live on YouTube. I am so, I say this all the time, right? But it is a wonder that I've been able to do this for as long as I've been doing this, because I am horrible at technology. For those of you who've been rocking with me from the beginning, the wings, okay. Thank you so much, the crocheting sailor. I don't know, I think this is my first time meeting you, so welcome. For those of you who are new here, myself and my Kind of Thing University students have been doing, we've done a crochet along every month last year and the year before that, and I'm gonna tell you, I was a little creatively burnt out and all kinds of weirdness. this first quarter of the year, and I'm playing catch up now. So bear with me, but I promise this is fun. I actually, so okay, because we're gonna get started right away. I know I'm a little bit late, but that was because, as usual, I struggle with technology. So we're gonna get started. I just want to make sure that everybody who is supposed to, be here, or, wanted to join from the group, knows that we're here. But yeah, so the cool thing is, like I said, we have been working on our spring bugs, and they're small projects I created to kind of clear our palette, because we do dolls all year round. For years straight we've been doing dolls, and when I tell you, the next crochet along, I don't even want to say next month, because literally I'm going to be putting up the information for the next crochet along sometime this evening, because I finally worked out the clothing, but just to kind of give us a little bit of, something quick, something that we can do that's fun and colorful. We did the spring bugs. Okay, and so I, of course, as per usual, kind of OD'd, because y'all know I did I did a bunch of bees. So I actually want to do 3 more in the other 3 colors. And so, but today we're going to work on this one. I had to do one for my nephew. So, okay, so without further ado, we're going to get started, right? Let me put them off to the side. So what you're going to need to do this, or to finish this, and of course I left some things over on the other side, but let's work on the Maybug first. So I don't know if you all can see, and let me put the light down. So if you all are able to see the top part, you should leave it with a little hole, right? What I usually do, and I know it's black yarn, so it's a little hard to see, because black yarn, many have considered to be the devil. But we're gonna work it out. So basically I use a yarn needle, right? And we're going to just, inside the front loop only, just do like this kind of whipping kind of thing in each of the 7 stitches that are left once we have finished the last row on the head of the and it creates a really nice closure, right? And then what I do, because I'm extra, y'all know, is I take a nice little sculpting needle. Actually, it's not little at all. It's this long needle. And I basically put it all the way down. Now here's the thing, because this is a ladybug, right? I put it in the middle, and then I come out like right here. And the reason why I'm coming out right here is because I'm gonna use this long tail that I have to assist in creating that line that the ladybug has. I did the same thing here with this one. Let's see, we're gonna come right out the middle But for those of you who have worked on the spring bugs, which spring bug is your favorite? It's funny, my favorite changes from day to day. I really like the bee, right? But then I really like the June bug. I guess the ladybug is really cool because I like the part where we put the spots on it. Are y'all able to hear me okay? Are y'all able to see all right? It is a very gloomy day here in New York City. Okay. So here's the deal. So as to make it so that it's straight, I'm gonna come right out of the out of the yarn to kind of hold it in place. Right? And this is just, you don't have to do it this way, but I do it this way just as a form of like using the yarn that I already used instead of getting a whole new piece. The ladybug is your favorite. Hey, Major. And then you could even use this one, right? And I'm gonna use the yarn needle again. I mean the sculpting needle, right? That's what this is called, sculpting needle. And I'm gonna go in the middle of there, and I'm gonna come out in the same place. And this is just one way to create that little line. And by going through the yarn, it kind of holds it in place. And so then y'all know I'm a little bit extra. So I also take the yarn in. The Bugga Bee is your favorite, Nora? I like, you know what? I like all of them. I like the spots on the ladybug because y'all know that's the opportunity to give it an extra little sparkle. But I also really like I love the way the bee's face look. I guess the bee's face and the June bug's face are very similar. Chastity, yours are all done? Okay, so this is what I did. So with this, I kind of wrapped it. And this is optional. I'm just, for those of you who are not new here, y'all know I'm a little bit extra. I try not to be, but I can't help it. And so basically, it just becomes a wrapping situation. And I use the blunt end because the point is just for me to kind of get it in place. Just to make it a little bit thicker. And I kind of snatch up a little bit of the yarn too. The yarn underneath. So, but it just makes it a little bit like of a thicker and more sturdy line. And then once I get to where I want to be, I just kind of go in and come out. Right? And though this is not as long, you can do the same thing, but I'm going to do, because I don't want it to be uneven. So this goes in that direction. And I will see how far I can go with this one in the other direction. Hey, killer! I tell you, man, I miss y'all though. It's been crazy here. It's been just absolutely crazy in here. Spring always kind of feels like winter actually always feels like it's draining, and spring always feels like a little bit of a revival. And so that's why, yeah, this is definitely not long enough, but we gonna see what we can do. As a matter of fact, we're not gonna try a whole bunch with this. I'm gonna use that piece that I just cut off to finish up. But I'm excited about the next one. Did y'all see? I've been posting previews of the next crochet along. Well, it's not even a crochet along, so let me explain that. The next thing we do is actually a crochet together, because what I want to establish, now that we have gotten so comfortable, those of you who have been here, been rocking with my kind of thing university, for the long amount of time that y'all been rocking with me, we're going to do a crochet together, which is basically, it's kind of like a hangout session. And it's still my kind of thing university, in that, you'll want to have the pattern to do it. And we're going to crochet together. We are going to crochet the design together. And that's going to be really, really fun. So basically, we're all going to be working from the instructions, and there are going to be designated days where we're literally on camera working on the different pieces and aspects of, her name is Mayflower, but I looked up the Zulu word for flower, and the Zulu word for flower is Mbali. And so it is because of that I named her May Mbali. And so we're going to work on her, and it is a flower themed design. And a part of me is a little bit hesitant to share with you the clothing and shoes that I created for her, because I kind of want it to be a surprise. I don't know. I don't know. I think it should be a surprise. I've been working on so many things at one time, Chastity. Oh my gosh. Y'all have been great and very, very patient with me. It is so challenging to have a yarn company and a university and do custom orders. It's very, very challenging. And because of how I twisted this and pinned it and all of that, I can cut these pieces and not worry about them unraveling, because that's the beauty of using the darning needle. It kind of goes into the fibers. There we go. Okay. That's pretty good, right? So now we got the little antenna hat. Oh, and I need my straight pin, so hold on, because I don't have a single straight pin over here, or probably all I have is one single straight pin, and I don't have the purple yarn here. or see, I'm calling it purple. Y'all gotta remind me. I was supposed to put in the description that I have a yarn company and everything. And this is our color Mermaid water. That's what we're using for this Maybug. The original Maybug is created with Pixie Pop by My Kind of String. The My Kind of String is My Kind of String is My Kind of Thing's little small yarn company. So give me 1 second. If you have any questions, let me know. Can't wait. She's so cute. I might have to make all the colors because I can't listen. Jackie. So the other cool aspect about this design, hold on, let me go get the yarn in the stuff. Oh, goodness. Purple. Okay. Shout out to Chastity. Every time I think I have I think I need to, every time I need to use a straight pin or what you call it, a freaking stitch marker. Shout out to Chastity Stanley, who had a girl back, who had a sister back, because I was here struggling, meaning to buy them and never, just certain small things. It's like sometimes you're like, oh, you don't know that you need it until you're literally there doing it. But the cool thing about the design that's coming up next is I noticed that y'all saw the different colors, right? But what y'all, I don't know if you noticed, but there's 5 different hairstyles. It's actually 6, but one of the 6, there's no way to write it. The orange girl, the girl in the orange, the reason why she's not done and why she hasn't been put up like to show off is because she actually she's getting cornrows. And if you want to know how to do the cornrows, you got to take the cornrows course. And there's no way to write that, because also the way that I'm doing the cornrows are going to be in ponytails. But shout out to Chastity, because every time I use the straight pins and every time I use the stitch markers, I think of you, because Chastity Stanley just out of nowhere, she just sent these to me. She was like, as a gift. And when I tell you, oh my gosh, like, so remember how, for those of y'all who've been rocking me from the beginning, I had a habit of whatever color I was using, that's the color straight pins that I had to use. And it was so, I don't know how to explain it, but I had started running out of straight pins and, never replenishing them or anything like that. And so I just had started getting like, whatever. But now that I got an unlimited supply, now I'm back to it. So y'all see I'm working with purple. And I use the straight pins to kind of pin it in place. Normally when I do the wig caps, I leave a long tail. But because I was working so fast, I needed to, work in a way where it wasn't a whole bunch of tangling and all of that. But y'all got to make sure I stay on topic, because as you can see, I talk all over the place. But I'm going to cut a nice long piece of mermaid water. I mean, not mermaid water, fairy berry. And I'm also going to use the large curved mattress needle. But thank you so much. You know what's funny? As far as the colors, Jackie, oh my gosh, like really, for me, I'm so color oriented. That's one of the reasons why when I made the dolls, it was, I needed to do them in different variations. I needed to do, like, I needed to see them in a lot of different combinations and ways. Oh, and there's a sad announcement I have to make. Very, very sad announcement. I mean, let me not say very, very sad. Um, so we are officially sold. I think we have literally one ball probably in the shop of coconut cream left. After that one ball is gone, we have no more coconut cream. Because of the whole thing with the tariffs and all of that, it is extremely, we're delayed in ordering more colors. So I can't even tell you when we'll have coconut cream back in stock. But coconut cream of all the 10 my kind of string yarn colors, coconut cream is officially sold out, or will be. It's only what's it called? It's only one ball left. So yeah, I don't I don't know, I don't want to say it's a horribly sad thing, but yeah. So if you are looking to create all three skin tones, like I said, unless you have some coconut cream in the stash, or what's the other way? Um, what you can do as a substitute for coconut cream. Now it's going to be slightly different as far as the these fruit flies are killing me. Every time, every single time. What you can do is you can find the equivalent of coconut cream. Now the texture might be slightly different. The texture of, you can use Red Heart Super Saver. You can use, I believe, Buff. Or I believe almond from Hobby Lobby. Toasted almond, I think it is. I'm not sure. What else? Just for the closest color and texture match. Hey, Vima's Crochet. Welcome. Okay, so basically, I'm not even explaining, like, so for those of you who are familiar with how we do this, then you know what I'm doing. But for those of you who are not, curved mattress needle, and we're basically going to be doing what they call in sewing a back stitch. So we're coming out. I'm gonna leave that little tail there, and going behind that stitch and not coming out in the next one, but skipping the next one, coming out, and then going in the one we skipped. And we're going to do that all the way around. And we don't want to pull too hard, because you know that if we pull too hard, it'll distort the shaping or the sculpting that we've done, right? You know, there's a reason why we do our increasing and our decreasing, right? It doesn't make any sense to do all of that counting and increasing and decreasing if we're just going to tug and pull and mess up the shapes that we've created. So it's just a smart way of tacking the wig cap down. And the curved mattress needle works the best, or tapestry needle, some people call it. And we're going to do this all the way around. But yes. So here's the thing, right? I'm super excited about the next crochet along, because like I said, the cool thing about that design is that it will have 5 hairstyle options in the pattern, in the instructions. 5 hairstyle options. So, and here's the other cool thing about it. You can definitely mix and match them, you know. For those of you who have taken the My Kind of Thing University hair courses, you are quite familiar with how to do that. You know, there is the textured afro puff, and of course there are some hairstyles that I didn't even include that, you know, My Kind of Thing University offers, because there are, I believe, 7 different hairstyle courses, and funny enough, of the 5 hairstyles that I've included in that pattern, I believe, so I didn't include regular afro puffs, you know, so that wasn't there. What else? I didn't include the pony puff. So because I wanted to do different ways little girls wear ponytails, 2 ponytails. So that was the other thing. There's so many aspects to this project, and I was supposed to be doing killing 2 birds with 1 stone type situation, where I was supposed to be making dolls for, you know, the design for patterns and crochet alongs, while also making dolls for sale, right? The thing about it is I got so engrossed in what I was doing as it pertains to the hairstyles and the skin colors and the yarn usage, that it became a real project for me. Like, I really was like, okay, you know what? I feel like they are worthy of a discussion, you know, some writing, and lots of photography to kind of teach and explain the point that I am trying to articulate through my particular brand of crochet, right? Which is to promote pride and confidence in children of color, particularly girls, and even more specifically Black and brown girls, in efforts to combat self-hate. Did you include demon lace? Listen, don't come over here with that, killer. Demon lace hairstyle. No, I did not. Funny enough, I did not. I cannot. For those of you who are not familiar with what Miss Tammy is is referring to, she is referring to the hairpin lace loom technique that I use to create curly hair. Okay, no, I did not use the hairpin lace loom to do any of those techniques. I gave y'all a great alternative. So, started from the beginning. Kudos to you. Thank you, Trish Crow. Thank you. I'm like, listen, oh my gosh. I am just, I'm horrible with technology. So I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. So, but yes, there is no inclusion of the hairpin lace loom technique, okay? And I've long since given all of you who have folded under the pressure of learning, or not even learning, because I know y'all know it, but doing it. For those of you who have crumbled under the pressure of having to show that you've learned it and understood it, I gave y'all a great alternative, which is the textured curly hair method. It's kind of like that, but it's more texture, like, you know, instead of looping. So I gave you a way out. So no, it's not included in the 5 hairstyles. The 5 hairstyles, you know what? Should I you know, I don't want to, I like surprises. Do y'all like, who here likes surprises? I have one student who doesn't like surprises, or maybe 2 that I know for a fact don't like surprises. And so whenever I do like mystery stuff, or I'm like, okay, you know, they kind of panic a little bit, or not even just panic. They're like, nah, I can't participate until I know what's happening. And I'm like, you gotta trust me. Don't y'all trust me? I love surprises too, Chastity. I really do. Like, I can't even tell y'all how excited I get with fun surprises. And that's the thing. Hopefully, I've done a good job of making these things fun. When you see them pop up on your timeline, you're like, yes. See, Tammy, that's the thing. Tammy kills me. You don't like surprises, Tammy? Not even wonderful surprises? I think I've done really good in the surprise department. No? I'd be excited, just as excited giving the surprises as I am receiving surprises. So, I get the same kind of excitement. That being said, can I just tell y'all, for those of y'all that have been rocking with me for a minute, one of my favorites is the mystery crochet along for the Halloweeny mystery crochet along. Those are my favorite because my goal is to make it something really fun that you can't guess, Halloween themed, and cute. And I'm gonna tell you, the last two, maybe, you know what? I can't even say that because I have loved every single one of the mystery Halloweenies. The the Frank one last year was so fun. Like, y'all can't tell me Frank wasn't fun and really cute. And then the one before that, who remembers what the one before Frank was, which was also really cool. And not for nothing, um, I believe y'all named her. It wasn't me. I didn't actually come up with the name. One of you suggested it in the live while we were creating her, while we were putting her pieces together. Um, who remembers the one before that? Exactly. Jackie. Jackie was so, listen. And then I put Jackie and Frank together and they looked just so cool together. Like, oh my gosh, Jackie and Frank were amazing. And I'm not saying that because I designed them, right? I'm saying that because I really had so much fun making them. And so what happens is, okay, because y'all know how I do. um, so I wound up going back over where I started so that it kind of locks it in place. You don't have to worry about the stitches coming out, right? And so we're gonna just kind of pull it through here and snip. Now, it is secure. How cute is that? I love this little widow's peak. But Jackie was so cool. Like, come on, surprises. Y'all can't tell me. I think I know Tammy. Tammy says, I get the patterns from you because I know they are going to be great, but I don't like to wait for the reveal. Look, okay, and I respect the people that don't love surprises, but I got to tell you, I love surprises, and because I love surprises so much, I gotta do it sometimes because it's also fun to kind of get your creative juices flowing, to kind of get you thinking. Because the other thing surprising you all does is it teaches you how to look at things differently. You know, sometimes we get accustomed to a pattern saying, freaking fruit fly, man, I tell you, I feel like it's two of them in here that have just taken up shop and I cannot get them out of here. They are eluding me. So basically, it gets you to kind of look at things a little bit differently. Meaning, perfect example, today we're finished attaching her little headgear, right? This is the bees stuff. Where is Junebug stuff? So, funny thing, I don't know how you all felt about Junebug's wings, but in doing Junebug's wings, felt inspired to turn these wings into something else. And so I did. I absolutely did. So you're gonna see this technique again for something else, and you're gonna see it really soon. It's exciting for me to share with you how I made these wings something absolutely not wings. But let me ask you this, when you look at this, and for those of you who've done them already, what did you think about while you were doing them? See, the pattern says they're wings, so it tells you already what they are, right? But the trick about that is that, yeah, the pattern says that's what they are, but what if I want them to be something else? One of the cool things about the surprises and the mysteries is that you'll make something, right? And you don't necessarily know what it is if you're not told what it is. And then your mind has to kind of guess. You kind of have to use your imagination, and you kind of have to guess, like, what is it? Because you don't really know for sure because it's a mystery, right? Oh, look at that. Ears a bit. They kind of look like ears a bit. Tammy says they look like flower petals to you. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And there's so many different ways that you can now use that with that understanding. The other cool thing, because y'all know I'm an educator at heart, is that the mystery crochet alongs are also a way for me and you to test your skills, right? Because the mystery crochet along tells you what to do, and it doesn't necessarily tell you anything else. There's no pictures to follow. So you have to know the language, and you have to know the language well, right? That's also why we call it the My Kind of Thing University. Because ultimately, it is not just crochet, it is really you seeing where you are skill wise as far as crochet is concerned. And, testing that skill set. How good are you? Are you able to read the language? Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that, Tammy, right? A collar for like, the little part that be outside the sweater, right? I tell you, I gotta catch this fruit fly, these two buddies. They just really trying to kill my vibe. But yeah, there's a bunch of things that you could do with these wings, right? Quite a few things. And I'm thinking, right, because like I said, I don't want to keep y'all here all day, right? I kind of want to, because it's a spring bugs crochet along. It's not like it's a doll session. Y'all know how we do with the doll session. But the point that I'm making, right, is that the surprises also test your skill set. It gives you an idea of where you are as far as understanding the language of crochet, right? So I think that's really cool and useful. Let me get my, what's it called, my dragon glass. Oh, of course I don't have any dragon glass nearby, do I? Okay, give me 1 second while I go get my dragon glass. For those of you who don't know, dragon glass is my black yarn. Okay. So, let me, I had to break off a piece. Because as y'all know, there's yarn all over the workshop. Okay. Let me wind it a little bit. But yeah, so I just want you to remind you all that a lot of times the mystery is also, you know, functional. It's not just fun, which y'all know I love that part. But it's actually really, really a cool way of showing or testing, you know, how well you know the language of crochet, and also challenging your creativity, because again, just because the pattern says these are wings doesn't mean that they have to stay wings. You know, they can totally, absolutely, they can absolutely be something else depending on how far, you know, your imagination goes. But we're gonna use dragon glass today to attach the little hood to the. And here's the thing, what I realized, you know what? We're not even gonna do that. We don't have to do all of that, because we just did it. It's the same as here, right? It's the same thing. We don't have to do that. I'm gonna keep them pinned though. What we are gonna do is let us attach the stinger. So I did that whole closing up thing there, and I pulled the string all the way through to the top. And the cool thing about the bee is with the bee you have the stinger and the wings. Now you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna pin these in place. Again, Chastity, every single time I use them, I'm like, thank you, because I got more than enough. Now I got to be mindful, right? Because that's how it happens. How it happens is, right, you start just pinning stuff and not finishing stuff. And when you pin stuff and don't finish stuff, you wind up with a lot of straight pins just hanging out in projects. And we don't really want that. But we want to make sure that we pin them symmetrically, you know, on the same row, so that when we attach them, we don't got no issues. Right? And so we need to look at it from the front, make sure that it's even, right? Oh, why is that red? You know, we don't like that. I'm so mad I just saw your comment, Tammy. Tammy says it's homework, don't sugarcoat it. It's not homework, it's fun. This is a leisure art. Don't try to... It's not homework. It's fun. It is skill enhancement and practice. That's what it is. It's not homework. Like, since when has homework ever been fun? It is a great use of showing how well you understand the language of crochet. Don't do that. You are so annoying, Tammy. I can't with you. Unbelievable. It's not homework. Don't tell them that. This is a university, though. It's fun. It's, oh crap! I didn't bring stuffing to stuff it. Do I have stuffing over here? No, I do not. I have to go get some stuffing. What else did I say? I have to get white too, right? I have everything all set up, but I was so flustered by having to go live on YouTube that I was just like, I was getting anxious. Okay, one last time I'm gonna go off camera to get the stuffing, to get the white, because even though it's a little stinger, it does need a little tiny bit of stuffing, not a whole bunch, but a little bit, to kind of, and you know what, before we even do that, let's pin the wings. So if you're like me, I don't take the trouble of trying to make this even when with small things, and if I have to put something there anyway, like wings, in the case of This guy, it doesn't bother me as much that there's that jogging effect. I don't necessarily care that much. But in other circumstances, I do hide the color change better. Like I said, this is the back. I'm not that concerned. But yeah, I like, and then the other thing about the whole, there's a technique that I use when I create the wings. There's a technique that I think I'm gonna have to at some point teach y'all on camera. Now here's the other thing, because Facebook's decision to put an expiration date on live videos, that's what has us here now. Because one of the things that I think is really important from a teaching perspective, now maybe not necessarily so much a financial perspective, but from a teaching perspective, is information being readily available, especially if you purchased it indefinitely. Meaning, I don't like the idea of an expiration date on certain types of information. You know, I feel like, it reminds me of like just textbooks in college. You spend all that money for a textbook. You maybe want to refer back to that for certain types of information and whatnot. Now, if you notice, I have the wings kind of making a little, like a V. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. I did it this way for that one. Did I do it this way? Yeah, I did it for this one as well. Right? Maybe you want it to just be straight. I don't necessarily like it to just be straight because, it's kind of, it's all right. You can do it straight. It's not it's not crazy to have it straight either. As a matter of fact, it's not bad at all. You can kind of, but I like the V better. That's just my own personal whatever. But you don't have to do it this way. I do it this way just because, that's how I do. A lot of times I'm just that kind of person. But we're going to attach the wings and the stinger here, and we're going to put the eyes here. But everything is done the same. It's just a different bug. But the wings are pretty much attached the same. The little antenna hood is attached the same. And so it's pretty much the same technique. That's why I'm like, I don't want to keep y'all here all day. But because YouTube doesn't seem to have an expiration date on the lives, as far as I know, this is something that you can refer back to. Y'all know how we do. Usually in our crochet alongs, you can refer back to the lives at any point in time. You can ask questions as it pertains to that, and you get answers regarding whatever you have questions on, because we don't all work at the same pace, right? Okay. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions? So I have the white yarn. So for this white, because my kind of string, our yarn company does not make white yarn. We have Super Saver by Red Heart. And y'all know I like a little sparkle on my thing. So we have this white sparkle. It's Super Saver Metallic. And then you need a little tiny bit of stuffing for the stinger. Just a little small amount. Not a whole bunch, because remember, we created this shape. I tell you, that fruit fly is going to be the death of me. Like, I don't even understand why you're here, fruit fly. But basically we created this cool triangle, and we don't want to overstuff it to the point where now it's no longer a little pointy thing, it's something else. So you just want to stuff it enough, not too much so that it loses its shape, but just enough so that it keeps its shape. Right? Just a little tiny bit of stuffing, that's all you need. Okay. And the thing about this little tail is, y'all know how I feel about some of these little loose strings, but I keep them there so that I can kind of illustrate to you how I close up that little opening. So in using the darning needle, I'm going to just kind of close it up. Are y'all able to hear me okay? I hear that my fridge in the background, it always makes that noise periodically. Okay. Yeah, I think, you know what I think? I think I'm gonna keep little May's outfit a surprise. Because I really think that it'll be a really cute surprise for you all to see how it's done. Okay, so here's the thing. We got it stuffed the way we need it stuffed. And so we're gonna put the stinger a little bit kind of like, it's not gonna be straight down. Even though you could do that straight down, I wouldn't, because, you know, no thank you. But I like the stinger like kind of here, like right beneath the wing. And again, we're gonna use some pins. It's a lot of pin usage. Try not to stick yourself either, because I do that a lot. And you really only need like 2. I mean, unless you're extra like me, sometimes I do 4, but I don't think we need that many. But got the little stinger there, the wings there. And we're gonna attach the stinger with the dragon glass. Oh, crap, of course. Trying to cut these nails. Makes picking up things really annoying. Okay, I just want to make sure. Wait, Tammy, what do you mean I just love to torture you? What about what? What happened? What is this? What is this accusation pertaining to? I just want to make sure that you all are hearing me okay, and because like I said, we have to create this alternative to Facebook's new 30-day limit. Oh, it's not a secret outfit, it's a surprise outfit. There's a difference. It's a surprise outfit. I'm telling you, when you see it, because I finished yesterday, I did, let me see, one, two, I actually did one, two, three, I thought I did four, but I did three of them. I finished in the Pixie Pop, I finished in the Summer Shine, and I finished in the Fairy Berry. I still gotta do the outfit in Magic Moss and Firelight and Mermaid Water. So I still got three more to make, and it's, you know what, it's actually fast. That's the fun thing. It's not a tedious you know, outfit. Like, it's funny because I was like, oh, this is kind of quick. If I didn't have to do it 6 different times, you know, I'd be like, oh, okay. But having had to do it 6 different times, it was like, it became tedious, because then there's sandals. It's a whole thing. But it's fun. It's fun. I promise. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, oh, this was cool. I'm just saying. So if you are, I'm excited. I'm excited. And like I was saying about, you know, just the option to access your information or access stuff that you've purchased, you know. I created a Patreon. And the goal is to create a subscription, right? And for me to upload specific techniques and things there, you know? Because that was my first reaction to them being like, oh, you know, the videos are going to be deleted, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that that applies to the old videos that I have in the Facebook groups, right? But my plan, my contingency plan for that is, if on the off chance, because they won't let me download them. That's the first thing. All of the videos that we've done, the live videos in the Facebook groups, I do not have the option. There is no option for me to download those videos. So I'm going to take an educated guess and assume that that doesn't apply for the old videos inside of the groups, but it does apply to any of the newer videos in the group. That's why when you finish, it asks you, or it gives you like a 30-day thing in the group. This one, oh my gosh, they're killing me. So, but on the off chance that they just decide to delete all the old videos, they're going to be done on Patreon, and they're going to require a subscription to access them, because I cannot do those videos here on YouTube, because you all know you paid for those. Those are paid techniques. They are not widely known or taught. Like, even now, I don't know that there's any other place that you are able to go that will teach you how to do crochet cornrows, or cornrows using actual crochet techniques for black doll hairstyles. You know, all of those cool hair techniques that I've curated and created specifically for doll making, the kind of doll making that we do here. So that will, and they will ultimately be redone. Oh my gosh, this one mother. Anyway, yeah, so that's the backup plan, that we'll just be starting from scratch, and it'll be a monthly subscription And it won't be crazy, nothing crazy, but I have to start really, really making sure that the things that I do and teach are, you know, in such a way that this, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is with this one. Did I get it? I think I did. Did I? I didn't. Mother saluted me again. Anyway. Yeah, so, but that's if they decide that, oh, not only can you not download your videos, but you also cannot save them, meaning like you can't download them and we're going to delete them. That doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense to me. I don't know that that is the case. I hope that's not the case. But like me and Yolanda were talking about it, and like there was no option for me to download the videos because I used to, the funny thing is when I first started doing the videos, the live videos, I had the option to save to my device. You know, I'm telling you, these things, like, it's weird. You have the option to save to your device. And so I did. And I used to save them as soon as the video ended. I would save it to my device. And so I do have some videos that are saved in my Google files, right? But then they stopped making that an option. And I was like, well, why would they not make that an option? Because that's kind of crazy, you know, that you have these videos and you no longer have the option to save them when you finish recording your live, right? And I said, oh, okay, Facebook is being sneaky. They just want to own everything, right? And so they probably want to own the video, and they probably want to make some situation where, you know, basically, because I'm sure that's part of that little accept, you know, terms and condition when you sign up for Facebook that nobody reads, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever, right? You know, but then they, like I said, they didn't allow you to save anymore. Saving was not an option when you go live, and it's still not an option, because that's the other thing. If saving the live was an option, then I wouldn't care if they you know, deleted it after 30 days. But so there's no option to save it, and there's no option for me to download the previous videos that I've done live, right? So it's kind of like, what are y'all doing? I feel like they're gearing up for some other silly thing that, you know, it just seems like every time you turn around, there's some other added cost that is just so annoying. So if it's going to be like that, then I'm going to have to, you know, get creative and savvy with how we do this. Funny thing is, I'm not really complaining because we've been doing this now for, I think the first My Kind of Thing University video was in 2017, and uploading and all of that has been, you know, I've been doing it here in private, well, not here, but in private or closed Facebook groups where the only way you can access it is if you purchase access to the groups. And so, you know, we've been doing pretty well in that area. So I'm not complaining. We had a really great run. We're gonna have to work it out. So that being said, I think I've successfully attached this stinger. Does anybody have any questions, by the way? I know that sometimes I get really talky. And y'all know why. I think this is probably the most I've said in like 3 or 4 days now. So forgive me if it's too much. But so we have the stinger is attached, and I'm just gonna put this in here, kind of come out there. And one of the cool things about using the curved mattress needle and the darning needle is because of how pointy they are here, which allows me to go in between the fibers and things in such a way where it kind of locks it in place, and I don't ever have to worry about anything unraveling or coming undone over time, you know? So that's always a plus. And whenever I have this little piece starting, what I do is I take the yarn needle and I kind of go in with the blunt end and make it disappear. But yeah, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pin his little antenna hat in place. And I say he because this one is actually going to be a he. So he's not going to have the lashes and stuff like the other one, because my nephew, my sister has been telling me for the longest time she wants him to have a bee. He loves bees. His favorite movie is Bee Movie. And he's 7, so it's funny. That movie's older than he is, but he loves bees that much. And she's like, you haven't made my boy a bee, so it's going to be his little bee. I don't know how much he's going to love it, because that's the thing. He always gives me I'm uninterested vibes. Tammy, you was a spring chicken back in 2017? That was, what was that? Let me see. We in 2025 now. Is that 5 years ago? In 2017? You was a spring chicken. I can't. Not, I said 5 years ago. I mean, 7 years ago, 2017. No, 8 years ago. I tell you, the only time I'm really good with math is as it relates to crochet. I can do percentages and fractions and all of that in designing. But when it comes to like simple mathematics out of the context of crochet, it's like, okay. I tell you, so I'm just gonna pin his little hat down just to keep it in place. It's like I said, this is for a little boy, so he's not gonna have lashes like the other one 8 years ago. Thank you. I'm telling you, math is not my strong suit unless it is crochet related. Okay, so boom, we got that, right? And what I'm gonna do is let us do this one's wings. And basically the wings are all done the same. It's just, it's 2 here instead of the set of 4 or whatever, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a nice little length of whatever color you use to make the wings. If you're creative and getting, creative, maybe you didn't use white, maybe you use something else. But then what I do is I split the yarn for these things. I don't need the full thickness of it, the whole 4-ply. I just need about 2-ply. And then remember, this has that metallic in it, so it can be a little tricky to unwind. And sometimes you gotta kind of cut the metallic because it can be a bit of a hindrance to the process of unraveling. Yeah, for all this, I could have probably just used regular white, right? But nuh-uh, because I got to be extra all the time. I can't help it. Maybe it'll be better from this end. Gotta remember to stay on camera. Good thing I cut longer than I needed. Okay. Okay. So how are you all liking this YouTube vibe so far? I promise it'll get better as we now have shifted to this platform opposed to our usual, the other differences. This is public. So any and everybody can join at any given time. One of the other things about this that's kind of scary to me, well, not even scary to me, but it's just like, it's a little bit like, in our closed groups, we have like certain types of discussions and whatnot. And, we can kind of talk about whatever here because this is public, we got to be on our best behavior. Which is okay. It's not like I misbehave. Tammy. But we don't want to give any strangers the wrong impression about my kind of thing and its wonderful participants / students. So I think it's really cool to kind of come out and let the other people know, in case they don't know that we exist. Crocheters that really enjoy this fun needle or fiber art, and we do it with a really good and clear purpose. And basically it's the same technique, similar technique to how I attached the wig cap, but just with a thinner piece of yarn. And once I get to the end, it's going to do a little knot. And because I'm using the same yarn that I used to make the wings, it's practically invisible. I don't know why it's giving me issues. It's stuck. I don't know why it's not pulling all the way through. Hold on, let me see. What did I do? Oh, is that why? Because I actually went through the threads. I wasn't supposed to. Okay. There we go. All right. And then we're gonna tuck it and hide it forever. Because that knot was there, I can clip it all the way down here and I ain't got to worry about it showing up uninvited. Okay, so we got one wing. And the reason why I left this out, because I'm going to go in the same place for the other one, or start in the same place for the other one. Okay, so now, does anybody have any questions? Because like I said, you'll be able to access this video once you're working on yours. I know something is up with the Postal Service. So some orders are taking longer than they usually do to get to where they're supposed to go. And it's aggravating me because USPS has been acting real funny. I see why companies opt for alternative ways of sending their packages and shipping, because USPS has given me far too much fever in the last 6 months. They had the nerve, like in all the 12 years that I've been in business. Would you believe that a person purchased dolls from me? 6 dolls, I believe, or 7. I think it was 7. I don't remember how many dolls it was. It wasn't 7. I think it was like 4 or 5 dolls from me. And all going to the same address. I had to ship them in separate boxes because of their size. Ship them priority mail. All shipped on the same day, going to the same address. One of them never arrived. Apparently got lost. Do you know that USPS had the nerve to ask me, did you get extra insurance? Excuse me? Now, priority is already automatically insured. I could not understand asking me if I got them further insured. I'm like, I didn't think I'd had to. There's tracking, all of these things, and then priority is already insured. Y'all really are playing? Like, it's the whole thing. And so apparently, according to them, they're still looking for it. But these are dolls that there are no duplicates of these. And it's a whole thing. And so that was the first alarming, annoying thing USPS did at the start of the year. Again, tracking everything. And then they're really delayed. Now, I understand delays and whatnot during the holidays, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's becoming a real pain in the neck to do simple things. And I think that's what's very, very frustrating, for me. But that was a big one. Like, how the heck you lose 3 boxes, 3 going out. They went all out at the same day, same time, all going to the same location. I'm just gonna put that inside. I could not believe it. Like, how do y'all lose that? And then even the processes of notifying them and letting them know that the package is missing, the photography required to show them what is inside the package. They have limitations on the file size and all. It was so many hoops and whatnot to jump through to even get the process started for looking for what they call lost mail. But like I said, it's very, very aggravating. Very, very aggravating. And I'm just going to go back one more time for extra security. I'm going to flip it all the way down. You do not have to worry about these things coming undone. But here's the other cool thing about why I like the spring bugs. You know what I was thinking about as I was making them? They would look really, really cute on a baby's mobile. The little thing that circles the crib. You make a bunch of these in a certain color scheme. You can absolutely make a baby mobile. And I think that'd be really cool for like a gift, especially if you do like a matching blanket or something to go with it, or a matching hat and stuff. Really, really cute, especially for a nursery. Okay, so now that we got the wings here, we got the head attached here, we're gonna slide these guys off to the side, right? And we're gonna put the eyes in here. Now here's the fun part, because I don't know if all of you all here know, y'all still with me? I don't know if you all know, but not only does my kind of string have yarn, but my kind of string also has eyes. And it's not just any old eyes. We have a specific kind of eyes that are unique in that, now this isn't the size we need, but the cool thing about my kind of string eyes is that they have this really cool hole in the back, which makes it really, really easy for me to attach the eyes after the fact. Now I know everybody's accustomed to putting in their eyes while they're making the thing, and honestly, I can't create that way. I can't do it that way because it just requires a level of commitment that my creativity won't allow so early. And so the eye size for this design is 12 millimeter flat black craft eyes. And then I had my machine cut. I had my machine cut the whites for this, and it made me think of something else too, because that's the last thing I have to do for the upcoming doll design. I don't know if you all noticed, but they didn't have faces, and the reason why they didn't have faces because I couldn't decide yet whether or not I wanted I don't know how I want the eyes to work out. Funny thing is, right, in making these these guys, I was like, oh, you know what? I thought it'd be strange to just have the black with the white. And I really like the way that looked. Because I really like the way this looks, I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to see what that looks like on the dolls. So I'm going to experiment. Because the other thing is these lashes are also experimental, right? And so I'm like, you know what? We gonna see. We are going to see. Because maybe the dolls don't need the color and the black and the white to the eyes. I don't know yet. I have to see what it looks like. And maybe they'll have the lashes when I create the companion pack. I'm not sure yet. But what I will say is whatever it's going to be, it's going to be cute. Okay, so with that being said, the cool thing about my kind of string, our eyes, right, is that you can finish the whole piece and then put the eyes wherever you want to put them. That is the fun part. That is the cool part. That is the part about it that I think like makes it unique, right? So we're going to see where we want these eyes to go. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna use I usually use knitting needles to kind of figure out eye placement. So maybe right here, and this all really depends on how you like your eyes, right? Because I like my eyes kind of close together. Some people like their eyes further apart. Y'all still with me? I don't know. I know sometimes I talk a whole lot. And so I prefer my eyes closer together. But the cool thing about this is that with this way, you really don't have to decide while you're making it. Because the thing about it is when everything is all done, maybe you don't want them so far apart. Maybe you want them higher up. Maybe you want them lower. Maybe you want them, you know? And I like this distance. And then we get to experiment and see what it looks like. With the lashes on. feel like these are kind of big, no? Okay, just checking, because I'm like, y'all know sometimes I'm like, I want to make sure that, especially because I was having a little bit of connection trouble in the beginning with YouTube too. That was another thing, the connection and the, yeah. So I like this eye placement, but if you don't like that eye placement, you can kind of move them around. This is where it's really cool to have my kind of strings eyes, because you can move them until you like them. And then we take our long sculpting needle and we thread it with whatever yarn color we use to create the I tell you, what is your goal? What is your goal, fly? And sometimes the thickness of my kind of string yarn makes it a little bit difficult. Okay, so I'm going to take this one out, and so as not to lose my place as to where I put that eye, I'm going to stick that there. I know it seems brutal, whatever. Okay, we're going to put this through here. Again, one of my favorite things about my kind of string eyes, because it really does create like a secure situation. All right. Now we're going to just take our long sculpting needle, and we're going to go in between the stitches in row. We're not just going to come out any old place. In between the rows, in between the stitches. Never ever just any old place, because we need this to be as clean as possible, right? So that's one strand, and we're going to take the other strand as well and go in the same place. And now the trick here is to make sure you don't actually, just going with the back, don't accidentally catch the other strand. And we're going to come out next to it, not in the same space, but next to it. Or, you know, just as close as possible to it. One of the cool features of my kind of string eyes, I'm telling you, you'll see, you'll see. I'm not going to pull that just yet. We're going to do the same thing with this eye. And the thing about it is, they say child safety eyes, but in truth, there's no such thing as child safe eyes, because, you know, there's always a chance that it's a choking hazard. If you have a kid that's chewing, if you have pets, like, there's no 100% safe rule. So my rule of thumb is, if you are in fact trying to make it for a baby mobile, what you would use is you would use these instead, and you would use fabric glue or hot glue to position them in place, to keep them in place, because, or embroider, because, you know, little kids and things and their mouths and all of that can definitely, it doesn't matter how secure you think they are. And that's just for children under 3. Children under 3 and pets. Okay, so same rule here. We're just gonna go in and come all the way out. Anybody got any questions? Any questions? We're almost done. We're almost done. We just gotta put these eyes in, do her mouth, and then put our little dots on her. If you purchase the companion pack, then you'll notice that your companion pack came with 3 sets of eyes for each of your bugs, lashes for each of your bug, 3 sets of lashes, 3 sets of the whites. You also have the what's it called, the dots for the ladybug. Like, we're ready. Okay, so here's my favorite part, right? Another thing that I love about my kind of string eyes is this part where you pull them in place. Look. why she came up looking suspicious. Okay, so basically what you do is you just move the white around. You don't want to look suspicious. But the other thing about being able to insert the eyes this way is you get to create the facial expression. You get to decide what the facial expression is going to be. And you can do that by just positioning the whites of the eyes in a specific way. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to tug too much. You're not going to tug too much. But with the dolls, the amount of tugging also creates what is it? A form of sculpting, face sculpting. It kind of creates cheeks sometimes. You know, all those wonderful things. But we're not going to pull too much. We're just going to keep it like this right here. And then here's the other trick. So with my yarn needle, I'm going to just move one of these strings over to the other, because this also locks it in place. I'm just going to move it to right here where the other one is, because when I secure them by tying the knot, it'll allow me to do so invisibly, securing the eyes in place so that you don't see how they were secured. Therefore, you can't undo them. I'm just going to come out the same space as the other string. And we're just going to tie a knot. And because I don't want to pull the eyes in too much, because that's the other thing. You pull too much, and she'll look mean. And I'll do like another knot. With the bigger face, you may want to pull in a little bit more and see what it looks like. But here we don't want to pull too much. All right? And now with the yarn needle again, we're going to pretty much tuck that knot, make it disappear. That's why it's important to go in between stitches and rows, because once I do this, there will be no evidence that I was ever there. And it's secure. See that? Boom. Same thing here. Secured. And this is another exclusive my kind of thing, technique. For those of you who know, y'all know. We've been doing it like this now for a few years. There we go. Sometimes the knot likes to resist. Clip. And the eyes are secure and in place. Now, here's the thing. For the dots on the back, I have these really cool sparkly circles that my machine cut for me. And the way I measured it out is I was like, you know what, I want 4 big circles and 4 little circles. Or is it 5? I think I have 5. Maybe it's 5. It might be 5 of each. Cause yeah, it was 4 initially. 4 is my 8 is my favorite number. But then I was like, oh, it doesn't look big enough. Like it doesn't look like it's spotty enough, you know? So I wound up doing 10. So if you purchase the companion packs for the spring bugs, you have the eyes for each bug, the lashes for each bug, and then you have the yarn, of course, and you will have the all of the pieces that you need in order to make your spring bugs. So if you are watching here and you're interested in creating the spring bugs, there is a link to purchase in the description. There's also a link to purchase the companion packs that were created for this fun design. And so what I'm doing is I'm gonna use, oh, I swear I'll be trying to be almost burning myself with this hot glue gun. So we're gonna use hot glue to attach the dots. Now what I do is I kind of place them first. I don't want to, you know, have just random placement happening. So because I think I did 5 of each, you know, just evenly distributed. So maybe 6 down here or 4 up there. I don't know. It depends on what you like, right? So let's see. 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll do. Yeah, we'll do 6 down here, maybe 4 up here. Because y'all know I have such issues with symmetry, man. Sometimes I'll be like trying not to be so anal, but I can't help it. You know, it's just hard for me. So let's start. And you only need like a little tiny bit. You don't need a whole bunch. The trick about using hot glue, the trick is you do not want to see where you use hot glue. If I can see it, that means you did a poor job of applying it. That's the hot glue rule. If I can see that you use hot glue, you have not done a good job of using hot glue. Where did I put the rest of my glue sticks? Hold on, I have some somewhere around here. In the bag somewhere. Okay, where the heck? Hold on. I had a whole bunch of hot glue sticks somewhere. Talk about ill-prepared. Jeez Louise. Okay, Well, I don't know why I cannot find my hot glue sticks. My glue sticks. Let's see, how much more can I get out of this? We got one here. Let's see. That's enough, right? Like I said, the trick is for your glue to be invisibly applied. Now, if you don't feel as confident with hot glue, which I can understand why, because I don't always feel as confident with hot glue, because it's not forgiving at all. You can use fabric glue. Now, fabric glue takes a little bit more discipline and effort, but you do want to, it's much more forgiving. It dries clear and flexible and all that wonderful stuff. Thank you. I hate when I get it on my fingernails though. But yeah, the cool thing about the fabric glue is that and that's what I use to apply the lashes. I use fabric glue. I don't use hot glue. Usually hot glue, when I'm using hot glue, it's to connect fabric to fabric. So if you'll notice, the backs of my little sparkly ladybug dots has like a canvas kind of backing. Sometimes it has like a fabric backing, and so it adheres the item to the yarn much more in a much more secure way. And I'll put the rest of these on off camera once I locate the elusive glue sticks, because I really don't. I had a bag of them and I don't know where they are. That being said, where did I slide those lashes off to? Oh, I have them sitting here on the bee. Okay, and so the same rule is with them now. I use, like I said, I use fabric glue for the lashes instead, and I use fabric glue with straight pins to pin them in place while it dries. And you could even use the tips of your straight pin to kind of like apply the glue or to move the glue around once you have it on the back. The thing about my vinyl pieces is that I don't use heat transfer because I don't trust using the iron or heat on acrylic yarn. I don't like it. It makes me extremely nervous, so I don't do it. I typically use E6000 glue or hot glue or Eileen's fabric glue. Those are the 3 different types of glue I use. Definitely careful with the hot glue because, like I said, it comes out funny, and if you put it in a place where you know, if it is visible, then it dries and it's clear and evident that you use glue, it cheapens the quality of your work, right? If someone can see that you use hot glue, they'll probably feel away. And of course, I lost this one's other lash. I'll find it. I've been losing it and finding it for weeks now. But basically, when it's all said and done, you will have 3 really fun spring bugs, right? You'll have the Maybug, which is the ladybug with all of her dots, right? Yeah, it's 10. And you'll have the June bug with its beautiful wings, fun little antennas, and really cute lashes and eyes. And you'll have your Bugga Bee. Like I said, her eyes aren't fixed in place. I hadn't done that yet, but look at the wings. I used like a silver sparkle with the white for this one. But yeah, and if you get carried away like I did, you'll probably have a few more Bugga Bees and a few more June bugs and Maybugs. But I think that concludes our live. I am so glad you were able to join. So glad that I was able to share with you the assembly portion of creating these fun spring bugs. Um, be sure to stay tuned for the upcoming things. Follow at my kind of thing.com for updates on crochet alongs, for any special sales and deals on designs, because we have lots of crochet designs, mostly doll designs, but we have all kinds of really wonderful doll designs. We have yarn with fun pieces that are custom made for the designs that we have. And I look forward to sharing more and more in this space. It's more public, but for those of you who know, we also have our private spaces, our closed spaces. If you're interested in seeing more of what we have to offer, you can follow us on Facebook at My Kind of Thing Facebook, My Kind of Thing on Instagram. And if you are into the learning component, My Kind of Thing University on Facebook, My Kind of Thing University on Instagram, and join the closed My Kind of String Yarn Facebook group. That is where a lot of cool and fun things happen. But again, thank you all so much for joining. Have a great week. Thank you again, Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor, for the for the help earlier, because I could not figure out the comment section. Thank you, Chastity, for always showing up. And thank you, Killer. Maleficent. Oh, you know what? It does, right? It does give that vibe. The June bug does give the Maleficent vibe. You all have been wonderful. Stay tuned, because the next thing will be coming up. I was gonna show y'all a preview, but they're fully clothed in their outfits that I crocheted for them, so I can't, because I would have to take off their clothes or whatever. But it'll be listed, or it'll be shared. Go to mykindofthing.com, the website, to subscribe so that you're on the mailing list for this next upcoming Crochet Together, because we are going to be crocheting together. I am going to be on camera, not like this. I'm going to be on camera like we're going to be talking face to face, sort of. And we'll be able to go over the pattern like we're in like a hangout session, and we'll have the pattern for those of you who purchase it. You'll be working from the pattern, and we will be working from the pattern and creating it together. So make sure you get your supplies and everything ready, because I do believe the first day we're starting might be over the weekend. I have to check the calendar that I created for it. But I'm excited. You guys are great. I'll see you all next time, okay? Bye, y'all.